Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make the flower bralette or the flower top. This is because of the pattern at the base of the bralette, the bottom band of the bralette. It has that flower design. So we're going to start off with the bra cups, and then later on we shall learn how to make the bottom band and then put everything together to make a full complete piece. So we already have a pattern as well as a video tutorial for the flower top as well, as you can see in this image, and you can check it out. All the links to this design will be mentioned in the description box below. Alright, so for the materials you will need yarn. The yarn that I'll be using is Alize Cotton Gold. I used approximately half of this ball, and each ball is about 361 yards. I just needed half of it to make the full complete top. And then the hook that I'll be using is a 3.5mm crochet hook, and then a darning needle and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. So for the hooks you will need a 3.5mm crochet hook and a 3mm crochet hook. The 3.5 is going to create the bra cups, and then the 3mm crochet hook will create the bottom band of the top. So we are starting off with a 3.5 and creating our bra cups. So for the bra cups you're going to start off with a slip knot, and we're going to make a chain of 16. I'm making for a size medium, and for all the other sizes just check on the screen. I'll be mentioning how many chains you'll need. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So once you have your number of chains that you need for your size, you're going to chain 2 more, and you're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th you're going to place a double crochet. So continue to double crochet all the way across the chain until you have 1 chain left. Make sure you don't miss any chain. So I have placed a double crochet in the second last chain, and we have only 1 chain left on our row. Into that last chain you're going to place a total of 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into the same exact chain, just like that. And now this will bring us to the bottom part of the starting chain of the row, and you're going to go into each and every chain with 1 double crochet. So make sure you don't miss the very last stitch here, and you should have something that looks like this. Now we are going to start moving back and forth in a U shape so that we can grow our bra cup. So let's go on to row 2. You're going to start off with a chain of 2, turn your work, the chain of 2 at the beginning of the round, sorry, the chain of 2 at the beginning of the row counts as our very first double crochet, and then go into the next stitch with 1 double crochet and continue to double crochet once in each and every stitch until you get to the chain 2 space at the top of the bra cup. Alright, so when you place a double crochet in the very last double crochet before the chain 2 space, you're going to go into the chain 2 space with 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into the same space. And then from here, you're going to go all the way down, placing 1 double crochet in each and every stitch. Alright, so when you come to the end of row 2, you'll have something that looks like this. We're going to keep working back and forth until we have enough coverage for our bra cup. I'll be recommending a number of rows that you can do for the different sizes, but if you're making for yourself, then you're going to have to try on this bra cup to make sure it fits perfectly well. So just keep repeating row 2 with a chain of 2, turn your work, and double crochet in each and every double crochet after that. And when you get to the chain 2 space, you will place 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then double crochet on the opposite side, placing 1 double crochet into each and every stitch until the end of the row. So don't forget to always go into the top of the very first chain 2 of the row, because it always counts as a double crochet. So repeat this, and I'll meet you back when I have enough rows for the size that I'm making for. Alright, after getting your desired number of rows, for me I have a total of 7 rows for size medium. But you can do as many rows as long as this can create the best coverage, enough coverage for your bust. So from here, we're going to create a mesh pattern around the bra cup that is going to correspond with our bottom band. You can see we have a touch of mesh in the bottom band of the top. So we are going to create that mesh pattern all the way around the bra cup. So from here, you're going to make a chain of 4. Turn your work. The chain of 4 counts as a double crochet, chain 1. So from here, you're going to skip the next stitch and 1 double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next, and you're going to repeat that all the way up until the tip of the bra cup. Sorry, it's chain 1, not chain 2. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, 1 double crochet into the next. So we've come to the top of the bra cup, and into the chain 2 space you're going to place 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 more double crochets, just like we were doing before. Now the fact that we have a double crochet at the very last stitch here, we want to mirror the same exact thing going on this side, onto this side. So 1 double crochet into the next stitch and then go back to the mesh pattern, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the next stitch after skipping 1 stitch here. All right, so we've come to the end of the mesh pattern, and now we are going to do 1 more row, which is going to seal off the mesh pattern. So chain 1, and you're going to place 2 single crochets in each and every chain 1 space. So we're not going into the stitches, we're just placing 2 single crochets in each and every chain 1 space. So when you come here where you have stitches at the tip of the bra cup, you're only going to place 1 single crochet in each and every stitch, like that, and then you place 2 single crochets into the chain 2 space, and then go to the next stitches with 1 single crochet into each until you get to the mesh pattern, and you should go back to 2 single crochets in each and every chain 1 space. So we are done, and this is what your bra cup should look like. The side that has the final row is supposed to be the right side of the bra cup. Then from here you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. So you're going to repeat this same exact process for your second bra cup, and I'll meet you back when mine is ready. All right, so we have 2 bra cups that are totally finished. What we're going to do right now is join the 2 in the middle. I'm going to just put my hook through here like this, and I'm going to attach it to the first stitch on this side with a slip stitch, just to put it in place, just like that. So after your bra cups, we are going to go ahead and create the bottom band of the top. So we're now going to work on the bottom band of the top, and we're going to start off with a slip knot. and we're going to make a very long chain that can wrap around the rib cage, around our rib cage, but not entirely. So your chain should be a multiple of 25 plus 4 chains. So you're just going to make a chain long enough to wrap around the rib cage, but not entirely, leaving a space for a lace up. So continue to chain until you have a multiple of 25 plus 4 chains. Alright, so I have a total of 104, which is a multiple of 25 plus 4 chains. So I'm going to go into the 8th chain from the hook, counting from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And into that 8th chain from the hook, you're going to place a double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, and 1 double crochet into the next chain. So skip 2 chains, 1 double crochet into the next chain. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1 double crochet into the next chain. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, and 1 double crochet into the next chain. So you will have a total of 4 spaces. The moment you have 4 spaces, you're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 chains. So 1, 2, and 3. After this, you're going to make a chain of 2, skip 2 chains, and 1 double crochet into the next chain. So you're going to repeat this until you have a total of 7 chain spaces. So this is 1, chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1 double crochet into the next. That's the second space. So we want a total of 7 spaces. So repeat that until you have 7 spaces after the 4 double crochets. So those are 4, 5, 6, and 7. So just to cross check, after your 4 double crochets here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 spaces. So the moment you're done with this, you're going to go into the next 3 spaces, into the next 3 chains with 1 double crochet into each. So 1, 2, and 3. After this, you're going to chain 2, skip 2 chains, and 1 double crochet into the next. So we've gone back to this sequence. Repeat until you have a total of 7 spaces after the 4 double crochets. This is the second. This is the third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth and 7th. So we have our 7 spaces after the 4 double crochets. You're going to place 3 double crochets in 1 in each of the next 3 chains. So that will bring us to 4 double crochets here. After this, we are going to go back to this pattern. So chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1 double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1 double, and repeat that until you have a total of 7 spaces. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this should be the 7th. And after your 7th space, you're going to place 1 double crochet in each of the next three chain stitches. All right, this is what you'll have. And then you're going to make a chain of 2, skip 2 chains, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, 1 double crochet into the next. So you will be left with only 3 chains, and you're going to make a chain of 2, skip over the 2 chains, and then into the last stitch you're going to place a double crochet. So that marks the end of row 1. Let's go on to row 2. Row 2, you're going to make a chain of 6, turn your work, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, which is a double crochet. So 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, skip the next chain space, and 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, skip the next chain space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So you will have a total of 3 spaces, and after this you're going to place 2 double crochets into the next chain space, 1 and 2, then 1 double crochet into the next double crochet stitch. So this is going to give us 4 double crochets after these 3 spaces. So we have this one, the 2 in the space, and the 1 in the stitch. Then you're going to make a chain of 10, you're going to skip 2 double crochets, and then you're going to place 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So we've skipped 2 double crochets here, and then placed a double crochet into the next double crochet. Then you're going to place 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, and 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. Just like that. This is what you should have. Then you're going to make a chain of 2, skip the next chain space, and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So you should create a mesh pattern until you have 1 space left, which is this one. So we're going to repeat what we did here. So you're going to place 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, make a chain of 10, skip 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then we are going to repeat what we did here, creating the mesh pattern. So chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, So you do that until you have one space left to the 4 double crochets that are together. Then from here you're going to place 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, make a chain of 10, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the last double crochet of the 4 double crochets from the previous row, 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So that's the repeat for this row, and go all the way across until towards the end, and I'll meet you back there. Alright, so we're coming towards the end of the row, and I've just made my chain of 10 and 1 double crochet after skipping 2 stitches. And then from here you're going to place 2 double crochets in the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then we're going to create our mesh pattern. So chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then you're going to make a chain of 2 and skip over 2 chains here and 1 double crochet into the next chain. That will balance exactly what we have on this side. You can see we have 3 spaces and 3 spaces on this side as well. Alright, after your 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, you're going to place 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then you're going to make a chain of 6, skip the next 3 double crochets and 1 single crochet into the chain 10 space. Just go under the loop of the chain 10, chain 6, skip the next 3 double crochets, and then 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, which should be the last double crochet of the 4 double crochets from the previous row. Then you're going to double crochet 2 times in the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then we're going to go to the mesh pattern. So chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet. So this will bring us to 1 space to the 4 double crochets here. So into that chain 2 space before the 4 double crochets, you're going to place 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, then make a chain of 6, 1 single crochet into the chain 10 loop, chain 6, skip 3 stitches, and into the next you're going to place 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then now we've gone back to the mesh pattern here. So chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next chain 2, 1 double into the next, chain 2, 1 double into the next. So when you have a chain 2 space before the 4 double crochets, you're going to place 2 double crochets into that chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 6, single crochet into the chain 10 loop, chain 6, skip 3 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next, 2 double crochets into the next space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So that's basically the repeat for this row. All right, so we're almost coming to the end of the row, and this is what we have. You're going to place 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 chains, and 1 double crochet into the next. So this is what you'll have. So we're going on to row 4. For row 4, you're going to start off with a chain of 6, turn your work, skip 2 chains and 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 7, skip the next 3 double crochets and 1 single crochet into the chain 6 space, into this space next to the single crochet from the previous row. So just single crochet there, 1 single crochet into the next single crochet, 1 single crochet in the chain 6 space. So the 3rd single crochet is also next to the single crochet from the previous row. After that, you're going to make a chain of 7, skip the next 3 double crochets and double crochet in the next double crochet. So skip 3 and 1 double crochet into the next, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, skip the next space and 1 double crochet into the next, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and this is what you'll have. Then from here, you're going to make a chain of 7, single crochet into the chain 6 space, 1 single crochet into the single crochet from the previous row, and 1 single crochet into the chain 6 space after that. So this will bring us to 3 single crochets at this point. Then from here, you're going to make a chain of 7, skip 3 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then you're going to make a chain of 7. 1 single crochet into the chain 6 space, 1 single crochet into the next single crochet, and 1 single crochet into the next chain 6 space, chain 7, skip 3 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, 2 double crochets into the next chain space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 7, 1 single crochet into the chain 6 space, 1 single crochet into the single crochet, 1 single crochet into the chain 6 space. Now from here you're going to make a chain of 7, skip the next 3 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, after this double crochet you're going to go into the next chain 2 space with 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 chains and 1 double crochet into the very next chain. So whatever you do on this side should balance what you have on this side. If they're not balancing, that means you're making a mistake somewhere and you need to cross check. So this is row 4 and we're going on to row 5. Row 5 is going to start off with a chain of 3. Turn your work, 2 double crochets into the very first chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 8, skip the next 3 stitches and skip the chain 7 space, and you're going to place 1 single crochet in each of the 3 single crochets from the previous row. Just like that. And then you're going to make a chain of 8, skip the chain 7 space and skip 3 double crochets, 1 2 3, and into the next you're going to place 1 double crochet. Then you're going to place 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space and 1 double crochet into the next double crochet to make a total of 4 double crochets here. So you're going to repeat this all the way across. Let me just show you one more time. Make a chain of 8, prepare for a single crochet, skip the 3 stitches, skip the chain 7 space, and you're going to place 1 single crochet in each of the 3 single crochets from the previous row. Then from here, make a chain of 8, skip the chain 7 space, skip 3 stitches, and then you're going to place 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then from here you're going to make a chain of 8. Skip the next 3 stitches and chain 7 space, and you're going to place 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 single crochets, just like that. And then from here you're going to chain 8, skip the chain 7 space, skip 3 stitches and place a double crochet into the next. So you're going to repeat this all the way across, and I'll meet you back towards the end of my row. So we're coming to the end, and I have finished chaining my 8. I'm skipping over the chain 7 space and 3 double crochets. I will place 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, and then place 2 double crochets into the space, and you're going to count from the bottom and place 1 double crochet into the 4th chain of the first chain 6, just like that. And your panel should look the same both at the beginning and at the end. So that marks the end of row 4. Let's go on to row 5. For row 5 we're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, 2 double crochets in the first chain 2 space. Sorry, we are on row 6. Sorry. Row 6, we are going to start off with a chain of 6. Turn your work, skip 2 double crochets, and you're going to place 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, just like that. Then you're going to place 3 double crochets in the chain 8 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 7. 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 single crochets. Chain 7. 3 double crochets in the chain 8 space, so I'm going to place them here. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 double crochet in the next double crochet, which is this one. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Then from here you're going to place 3 double crochets into the chain 8 space. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 7. 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 single crochets. Just like that. And then from here, you're going to make a chain of 7, 3 double crochets into the chain 8 space, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, 3 double crochets into the next chain 8 space, and you're going to repeat that all the way around, across, sorry, we are working in rows, so you're going to repeat that all the way across. So I'm chaining 7 and placing 3 double crochets into the chain 8 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then from here you're going to make a chain of 2 and then skip over 2 stitches and 1 double crochet on top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row. And this is what your work will look like. We're going on to row 7. Row 7, you're going to start off with a chain of 6. Turn your work. Skip the chain 2 space and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 double crochets and 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So that will bring us to 2 spaces, and then you're going to place 3 double crochets into the chain 7 space, 1, 2 and 3, chain 6, skip 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet into the next. Skip the next single crochet and make a chain of 6 and 3 double crochets into the chain 7 space. 1, 2 and 3. 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip the chain 2 space and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next. So you can see the flower is closing up right now. So we're going to repeat that all the way across. After this, you're going to place 3 double crochets into the chain 7 space, chain 6, skip the next single crochet and single crochet into the next stitch, chain 6, skip the next single crochet and place 3 double crochets into the chain 7 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip the chain space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and 3 double crochets into the chain 7 space. So you're going to repeat that all the way across, and I'll meet you back towards the end of my row. So we're coming to the end of the row, and I am chaining 6, 3 double crochets into the chain 7 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains and 1 double crochet into the next chain. And that marks the end of row 7. All right, so we are on row 8 right now, and you're going to start off with a chain of 6. Turn your work, skip the next chain 2 space and place a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next. From here you're going to place 3 double crochets into the next chain 6 space, into this space that we created from the previous row. So 3 double crochets in there, and then you're going to make a chain of 2 and 3 double crochets into the next chain 6 space. And then 1 double crochet into the next stitch. From here, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the next space and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 3 double crochets into the next chain 6 space. From here you're going to make a chain of 2, skip over the single crochet and 3 double crochets into the chain 6 space, then 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So we're going to just repeat that all the way across until towards the end of the row, where I'll show you what to do next. So we're almost coming to the end of our row, and I'm chaining 2 and 3 double crochets into the next chain 6 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains and 1 double crochet into the next chain. And you should be having a total of 3 spaces on each edge. We have 3 here and 3 here, so just make sure your work is balanced. All right, that marks the end of row 8. Now we are going on to row 9. Row 9 is, we're going to start off with a chain of 6. Turn your work, and you're going to skip the 2 chains, and you're going to place 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, and then you're going to place 2 double crochets into the next chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then from here you're going to make a chain of 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, skip the space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and repeat that all the way across, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, so when we get here to the 4 double crochets from the previous row, you're going to make a chain of 2, skip over 2 stitches and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the chain space, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then we go back to the mesh pattern, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip the space and 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and repeat that until you get to the next 4 double crochets. All right, so we are here, and we're just going to repeat this same exact thing at this point all the way across. All right, so we're coming to the end of row 9, and at the end you're going to just make a chain of 2 and skip over 2 chains, and into the 3rd chain you're going to place your double crochet like that. Now if you wish to make this pattern longer, you're going to repeat from rows 2 to 9. I'll be having timestamps in the description box because so that you can follow along easily. So rows 2 to 9, 2 to 9, you're just going to repeat that until your panel grows, until the length that you want. But for me, this is the length of the bottom band of my top. I don't want it to be longer but you can do 2 flowers, and that will be, of course, more rows. And for me, I'm making a crop top, so I don't need so many of these. So I'll end mine here. So from here, we're going to do something different to build onto the top. All right, when you finish the band of the top, you're going to try it on. If you feel like it's quite short, then we're going to build onto the sides of the band. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to increase by around 3 rows on each end so that it can wrap around comfortably well. So to do this, if you have a length that's enough, that would be great. That's very okay. You don't need to do this part. And I think for the most part, I advise 5 flowers, not 4 flowers, because this pattern has a tendency to shrink. So maybe the starting chain would have been a multiple of 5 times 5. Sorry, a multiple of 25 times 5, which would have been 125 plus 4 chains. Maybe that's the better multiple, but this shrunk a bit and I want to elongate it a little bit to wrap around the rib cage comfortably well. So if you find yourself in this situation, then you're going to make a chain of 5, turn your work to the side, because now we are working along this side and we're just creating a mesh pattern. And the multiple of, sorry, the chain of 5 counts as a double crochet chain 2. So you're going to go into this stitch and place a double crochet, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the top of the next row, just like that, chain 2. So we are placing our double crochets at those points where the 2 rows meet. All right, so we are done creating the mesh pattern across the side of the band, the bottom band. Then you're going to make a chain of 5, turn your work, and we're just going to continue creating the mesh pattern, just placing 1 double crochet in each double crochet and making a chain of 2 in between. So this is what the mesh pattern is going to look like on the sides. So you can go as many rows as you want to extend your bottom band towards the back of the top. So I ended up doing a total of 3 rows, and from here I will just make a chain of 1 and cut my yarn, and I'll do the same exact thing on the opposite side so that I balance the top. So you're going to attach your yarn after 2 chains, so just count 2 chains down. And attach your yarn, make a chain of 5 and place your double crochets at the points in between the rows, just like we did for the opposite side. Alright, so when you balance the same number of rows that you have on this side onto this side, then it's time for us to chain one and cut our yarn. And that means the bottom band of the top is finished. And now it's time for us to introduce our bra cups. Alright, after the second bra cup, I'll chain one and cut off my yarn. Okay, now I'm going to flip over my work like this so that I am joining on the wrong side of the top. So just flip over your bottom band like this. And then what we're going to do is get a strand of yarn and leave it behind on this side. We're going to first join this side and then we shall come to the opposite side later on. So I will attach one, two, three, four. So into that middle space, I'm going to attach my first row of the first bra cup, and I am placing 2 single crochets in each space. So what I'm doing is allocating one space of the bottom band into one row of the bra cup and attaching with 2 single crochets. So this is what we will have, something like this, but this is the wrong side of the work. So when it comes to these 4 double crochets, you're going to just allocate 2 stitches to one row and the next 2 stitches to the next row. So this is the 3rd stitch and the 4th stitch into the next row of the bra cup. So this is what you'll have. And we're going to repeat that all the way across, allocating one space of the band into one row of the bra cup. Then don't forget, when it comes to the 4 stitches of the band, we allocate 2 in each row of the bra cup. All right, so we've come to the end of the very first bra cup, and this is what we have. So you can see the bra cup has comfortably attached onto the bottom band of the top. So from here, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. Then flip over your work so that you're working your second bra cup the same exact way that we've done the first one. So just get that strand that we left behind, the long strand, and then we're going to use it to attach. So you're going to still attach from the middle. So the middle space of the band onto the first space of the bra cup and place 2 single crochets, and then we just continue to attach the other pieces just like we did for the first side. All right, so we've made it across our second bra cup, and you're going to make a chain of 1, cut your yarn, and this is what you should have. You should have the same exact length on both ends of the top. And now you're going to flip over your work to the right side, and we see what we have. This is what the right side of the bralette looks like. Now we are going to create our straps for our top because we don't have anything here. That means we can't tie this bralette. So you're going to grab your yarn, and attach on top of the very first bra cup. You can use a plain chain. Actually, I'll do that, but doubling my strand, just like we did for the drawstring of the skirt. So you're going to use a double strand and attach your yarn into the top of the bra cup, single crochet into the same exact space, and now you're going to make a chain of about 120. Okay, so we are done with the straps of the top part of the bralette, and then we've also done this one. So I'm going to show you how I did the ones on the side. You're going to grab your yarn and hook, and you're going to make a chain of around 70 to 80 chains. So I have my 80 chains, and I'm going to go into each space. All right, so we've made it all the way across, placing 2 single crochets in each and every space, and we're going to make a chain of 80, just like we did on this side. All right, so after this, you have your top ready. These top straps are going to tie around the neck like this, and then you fold this piece behind and then tie the back straps as well, and your top will be ready to wear. So this is the back side of the top, and when you turn it to the right side, this is exactly what we have, and I'll show you the final piece on my dummy.